So, a while ago, I got this amazing book, Benek's Adventures in Petlandia. And tonight, I'd like to read it to you, because it's amazing.
Benek lived in Chicago and dreamt of being a star, with his very own TV show and chauffeur-driven car. But being cute and furry made stardom rather tough, especially as the only words he knew were woof and rough. Feeling brave, he folded up his PJ and a flannel, along with some ideas for his Benek YouTube channel. Fumbling in the darkness, he scrawled a doggy note, then kissed Ania and Damien and went to get his coat. Scampering through the moonlit streets with thoughts of being wealthy, Benek stopped beside a sign and thought, I'll take a selfie. Pulling out his eyebone, he posed and took a snap. Then headed to the airport while squinting at his map. Benek was excited because he'd never flown before. Unless you count that time he slammed a laptop on his paw. As the plane took off, he thought of A-list hounds and mutts, while trying to squish his nose into a teeny bag of nuts. When Benek got to Hollywood, he set up several meets, but most of them weren't wrong because he tinkled on the seats. And even though he tried his best, the top dogs weren't impressed. We've seen your act before, kid, and look at how you're dressed. With failure after failure, Benek's confidence was shrinking. But then he saw a saxophone, which kind of got him thinking. I need to learn some new tricks to really make me shine, and then I'll make some videos and post them all online. Meanwhile, back in Chicago, Ania found a note. My dog thinks he'll be famous? What a silly goat! But suddenly Damien looked up and saw Benek on the news. He'd become an online superstar with 50 million views. It seems dogs can't learn new tricks, Ania thought out loud, and Damien started laughing. They both felt very proud. There was Benek on a chat show, tootling away, while teetering on a unicycle, doing dog ballet. Soon the world was going wild for Benek's jolly tunes. You could even buy a storybook and see him in cartoons. He bought a doggy mansion and the limo and the yacht. He even met the president and partied quite a lot. Other doggies lined up to shake Benek by the paw, and scripts for pet-based movies came tumbling through the door. He'd sit and count his money while lounging on his throne. But when he wasn't working, he'd often be alone. Because he felt so lonely, Benek bought more stuff. But even though he had it all, it was never quite enough. He tried some doggy yoga, which he thought might make him happy. But that just tied him up in knots and made him sore and snobby. Then suddenly it hit him as he chewed his oldest bone. What Benek wanted most was to be snuggled back at home. Yes, he'd miss his fancy life, the palm trees and his chauffeur, but none of that compared to cuddling Ania on the sofa. He called off all his concerts and he gave away his things, but all flights home were fully booked, so he clung onto the wings. Hanging on for dear life as the plane took to the skies made Benek think of tummy rubs, and tears welled in his eyes. Soaring over Chicago, Benek thought, I've had a hood, but home is where the heart is, so I need a parachute. Fumbling in his suitcase, he found the sparkly gown, then used it as he leaped off to sort of slow him down. Tumbling through the fluffy clouds was really quite a rush, but Benek had to slow down or he'd soon be doggy mush. Just then he saw a mattress dumped upon a roof, so he steered himself towards it and landed with the woof. Jumping into Damien's arms, Benek cried with joy. Then Ania squeezed the squeaker in a squishy, squishy toy. Fame is pretty epic, but snuggling is the best, thought Benek as he curled up to enjoy a well-earned rest. Miles away in Hollywood, things were much the same, and countless pets arrived each day to search for wealth and fame. They often spoke about that dog who played the saxophone and how he left it all behind because he missed his home. But Benek wasn't bothered that he'd given fame the shove, because his trip had taught him that what really counts is love. The end.